For some reasons regarding privacy, I will not be providing my name or any of my contacts, as there's no need to compromise any of my personal information, as it has nothing to do with what happened. I'm a freshman who recently started taking web design, with skills I can obtain beforehand. I was able to make myself kinda popular on the Roblox website, by designing t-shirts for avatars, and they were so good a few YouTubers had even worn them for a few videos. It wasn't anything too significant, as my main hobby was exploiting. I would go from game to game, trolling 9-year-olds with my friends who also bypass games admin filters. And no, I'm not going to apologize for this. It was purely for satire. Nothing to get me ahead of any games. A few particular games my friend and I liked to mess around on was Prison Life and Mad Paintball 2, as those were fairly easy to cheat on. Saturdays was always a good day to hop on and wreak havoc on salty players. We fly through walls and use an automated aim bot to destroy anyone near us. The particular client we were using would hide our usernames on every other player menu screen so they couldn't report us. Yes, that is a possible thing to accomplish, but it isn't perfect. I had my fair share of bans, and I believe everything bad started it on my 6th account. It all began like any other Saturday. My mom goes to the grocery store, and I'm free to make myself toast and watch TV and play video games. The usual. My friends warned online when I logged in, but I was too impatient. You see, the client I was using would be updated once a week, introducing a new fun-filled exploit. This particular one would cause my avatar to explode if I died, killing anyone near me. Unfortunately, it would only work in Prison Life, but that was no matter because it's basically where the craziest players roam, just waiting to find an excuse to rage quit. I've opened up my client and purchased a new hack. Most of the exploits are premium, and they're like around $30 each. Crazy, right? Followed by hopping into Prison Life. That's when the fun began. I would stray foolishly into the police spawn area and get a shot, followed by an explosion which killed everyone else. I was met with the insults and laughing emojis in the chat. I love the people who wouldn't take me seriously. All was well until a fellow prisoner was up to me. They possessed that classical elongated smile with an upright oval eyes. Their skin tone was an ugly shade of brown, and they had a long blonde hair that went straight through their defeated head. I turned around in acknowledgement as a stranger typed to me, "Hey, can you please stop? You're making me really sad." At this point, I wasn't even sure whether to take lillysunbear123 seriously with all those stupid emojis. So I replied with proper grammar and punctuation and sarcasm. "Sweetie, when you're as depressed as I am, you really thought to dispose of those emojis if you actually want me to care." Followed by a swiftly resetting my character and causing an explosion. I honestly thought that this gag would be perfectly timed if it wasn't for the fact that this lillysunbear123 character was still in one piece and standing. Right before respawn, I could see another word, bubble, materialize above her malformed head, saying, "I'll make you regret departing from your mother's womb." That's when my dismembered avatar was teleported back into the prisoner's spawn. I was certainly taken aback by this abrupt response, and went back to confront the mysterious player. But she was nowhere to be found. She clearly left the game. Satisfied with the response to my prank, I continued my weekly trolling, and nothing usual happened within the span of another week. That was until yet another Saturday morning, I discovered lillysunbear123 had sent me a friend request. Out of curiosity, I accepted it and almost immediately received a private message from her, which reads in the most cringe-worthiness, "Hi, username. Sorry for being mean. I got mad easily. but I want to be friends, please. I honestly would have taken screenshots to show how utterly ridiculous the message was, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. Anyways, I replied as I usually would do to someone with grammar from the depths of hell. "This is a joke, right?" "What are you talking about?" she responded with one too many question marks. I honestly couldn't help but feel a bit bad for her. At first, I thought she must have been around 5. "Listen, I'm really not here to make friends right now. I'm busy, you know. There are plenty of other players you can hang out with, though." Her response was unexpected, to say the least. "You hate me, don't deny it." I paused in alarm. Before I could reply, lillysunbear123 sent another message. This one more chilling than the last. "I understand. You want to die alone. And guess what? I'm already dead." I tried messaging her after, but then I discovered she had unfriended me. So I hesitantly searched her name up and clicked on her profile page. She was offline, but before she logged off, lillysunbear123 left a message that made my heart stop. "If you don't leave this game within a week, I'll make sure you succumb to my..." The words were in a big jagged font which made the message too long to fully appear on the screen, and I didn't dare to find out what the rest read. But when I thought about it, there was nothing to be scared of. The player was just trying to scare me. That's it. I could do the exact same thing if I was quirky in that way. All was well, but little did I know, lillysunbear123 hasn't finished with me yet. Looking back, I probably should have taken her threat more seriously. But I let a week pass by, still playing Roblox anyways. I'm sure you probably have that feeling where you tell yourself you're not afraid, but deep down you know something is wrong. Still, everyone doesn't want to show that fear is in control of them, and most of the times it works, unless reality has its way of you telling the truth. When the beginning of the week arose, I had completely forgotten about lillysunbear123. That was, until I discovered she sent me yet another friend request shortly after I got on. Upon accepting it, I was met with a third message from the mysterious player. "Why are you still here?" "Because I can, duh," I typed in annoyance. "Underestimating me would only bring you more pain," lillysunbear123 replied with a hint of hatred. My ego was starting to show signs of breaking in fear, but I wasn't going to show her that. "What are you going to do, sissy? Hack my computer?" "I forgive you. I also gave you another chance, but you still treated me like you were the big bully, and I'm the hopeless individual. But little do you know, I have already done it." "Done what?" I asked. All of a sudden, a pop-up appeared on my screen. I was met with the loading screen for a game match I swear I didn't click on. Before I could process what was happening, I was teleported into a dark hallway. I could barely see past a few feet. I tried clicking off the game in annoyance, but the exit button wouldn't respond. That's when I made the guess that this was all her doing it. Taking shallow steps in the game, I gulped down the last of my fear to proceed and continue moving forward, determined to figure out what was going on. The more I walked, the more lights would appear above, fluorescent ones that were embedded within the tan ceiling. As I moved on, I couldn't erase the feeling that I was being watched. I knew she was here, but there was nothing I can do about it, nothing I wanted to do. It was as if that aforementioned feeling had been taking flight. I knew something was terribly wrong, but I didn't want to show that I was afraid. I could hear the eerie echo of my avatar's footsteps, my index finger arched as I pressed the W button on my keyboard harder and harder. It felt as if the hallway would never end. All of a sudden, a player teleported in front of me. lillysunbear123. Her arm craned upward to present a long twisted sword that resembled an ancient Kurpesh. I honestly didn't know what to do at this point, but to let her strike me down with a single swipe across my torso, rather my avatar's. I watched as she stood over my disembodied character. Then she said, "I know what you're thinking. You think you're safe." Now, I'm not sure what to think. As I typed this, I still possessed doubt. But when I lifted my shirt to reveal a small gash on my chest, it all seemed to add up. I looked back up at the screen in horror and saw that I was kicked from the game. And the reason that was displayed was, "I'm not finished with you yet." And then I saw my name. My birth name. I really hope the wound I received was just some coincidence. It hurts my head like hell and try and rationalize everything. I reported the account, but I'm not sure what that'll do. Even if lillysunbear123 does get banned, that doesn't mean she can't harm me.